Good evening and welcome to Wednesday on Bad Dog Comedy TV, live on YouTube and Between Friends, the show where friends talk to each other about being friends. Our friends this week are Devon Henderson and Jackie Twomey.
Hi, friend.
Hi. Hi, friend. Hi, best friend.
Hi.
Oh, this is weird because the audio is bleeding from your room to the living room.
I know I'm hearing you talk like you're finishing your sentence and then I'm hearing it again on the computer.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna put a pillow underneath your door. Okay, whatever. We'll keep talking.
Okay. I like that angle that you're using in the living room.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it shows off like how good our apartment looks and like how good of a job we've done.
Yeah.
Is that a little better?
Yeah, that's a bit better.
Okay.
Yeah, for the viewers at home, we live together, so we're pretending to be catching up on Zoom when in reality.
When in reality, we caught up at when I got home from work today.
Yeah. Mere moments ago.
Yes. Mere moments ago. Devon, have you done a lot of online improv? I don't know. Am I supposed to just like talk to you like a normal human being? Do I ever talk to you like a normal human being?
Well, I think the first thing we should do is say that this show is streaming on Bad Dog TV, which is a really cool internet place where Bad Dog has been able to live during these kooky, crazy times. And they've got all sorts of programming, and it's really good. It's not just like, shows that are like being thrown together out of necessity. They've like really thought about the programming, and it's awesome.
Yes. Also, this audio bleed is so so much, but it's fine. Because you laugh and then I hear you laugh again on the call. It's great. But yes, Bad Dog is great. This is I haven't done a lot. I've been doing some online improv, and it's not the same, but it's so nice to see all of your pals or friends. I know with another theater, we end up playing Quiplash after almost always, and it's so fun because I'm like, yes, like this is a lot of the reason why I'm doing an online show, not because I'm excited to try pan left across 4 different cameras. But yeah, I don't know. It was a ramble. I'm sorry. I have baby brain a little because I look after toddlers, so just the shift after work is always a little like, how do you put words together? Okay, I'm here. It's showtime. Ooh, how did we meet?
Oh, we have our first question. So we have a very unique story, which is that we met at Second City. I feel like that's like everybody's origin. We met in a writing class. It was like 7 years ago now or something crazy.
Writing
really
3.
long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were both doing the writing program, and our like classes were mashed together halfway through, and yeah, that's how we met.
Yeah. It was March of 2014. Yes. Did you hear that, Devon? Okay, that's fine. It's time for.
I heard it from you in the other room, but I'm not hearing it on the computer. I'm just chatting with our tech wizard, Sean. Oh, he hears both of us. Okay, well, great.
I think just this living room sitch is so annoying for us, so I'm sorry. I'm trying to talk as quietly as possible, also.
No. It's totally fine. We're supposed to be talking about how we met.
If you think it'll be better to disconnect and go to that more distant room, then we can just riff while that happens, and we can try that and see if that works.
I do think maybe that might be better.
Yeah, let's try it.
Yeah, okay.
In the meantime, hello, I'm a P. This is my representation of the god of friendship. who's kind of the host of Between Friends here. And right now, my purpose is simply to fill time while Jackie moves to that other space that maybe works better.
The P and I met in the writing program at Second City,
Yeah.
and we've been working together ever since.
Yeah, and I refused to write anything other than just one word, and I still got through to Con 3, which was pretty good.
Sorry, we were so confident that all the like tech was in place before the show that we were like, let's just like sign off for 20 minutes and come back. And now my like everyone's frozen. I can't hear anything. It's
no.
such a nightmare.
I believe in you, you know.
I see the P though.
Okay, you just be comforted in the warm, low resolution smile of the god of friendship here, and Jackie's back.
I do think, Devon, your getting screwed up was my fault because I don't know, I just touched one of the chords and maybe it's like, hey, I can only do one thing at one time. I don't know, whatever. Just blame me.
Hey, I'm a chord.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a chord. It's a chord.
All right, we seem to be running pretty smoothly from this P's perspective. Is it running all right for you two?
Yeah.
Awesome.
This is better for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Ditto.
So yeah, we met in a class, and I just remember thinking, because I had just moved to Toronto and I didn't really know anybody, and Jackie had been you'd been taking classes like 6 months longer than I had. You were like 6 months ahead of me at Second City. So like you knew a bunch of people and you were also working at Much Music at the time. So like you just felt like this like, oh, here's this like cool Toronto chick. And I'm just this like loser from like a BC suburb. So like I just thought that like that you were so cool. And so it was really exciting when you talked to me.
It's funny because I remember when you were in the writing program thinking like, oh my God, she's good. Like because you can tell when someone is good. And I was like so unconfident. Just take the compliment. I did not have confidence. I still don't, but I had way less then. And I remember being like, oh, she's really good. She's really good. And there was an opportunity. Devon knows the story, but there's an opportunity for us to work on each other's sketches, just anyone in the class. And Devon put forth hers. And I sat on my hands, basically. I was like, I had an idea, but I was like, oh, I don't know. And then I was like, I won't be able to think of a good idea for her. Didn't volunteer. And then mine came around and Devon didn't volunteer for mine. And afterwards, someone couldn't get Devon the help that she needed for her sketch. So they threw it out to the room. And I was like, oh, what if, I don't know, whatever. And Devon was like, yes. Oh, okay. And then like, she took the idea to make it work. Like, it wasn't like I had the be all end all. Devon just knew, yes, I know from what you've said how I want to now change it. And it was a structured improv scene. And it's like structured improv, like in the way of like Second City, like those sketches that are like plop and play. I don't know how to speak.
Was it I mean, it's like so boring to talk about old premises, but like it was the structured improv where it was like you're showing a new kid around a cafeteria and like all of the different cliques at the table, like in Mean Girls. So.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was like, I knew I really, really wanted to like work on it with you. We're talking like we wrote like Citizen Kane. This was like a dumb sketch that we made in writing 3. But
why is Citizen Kane better than like why is Rosebud better? Like screw Orson Welles. Like we're great.
Screw Orson Welles. We've been on this stream for 10 minutes and we're already defaming Orson Welles. No, but I remember thinking like, oh, I think this Jackie person has like kind of the same frame of reference as I do, and like we like some of the same stuff. So I just like I really wanted to work on it with you, and I like, and yeah, and then we did, and it was good. And we kept writing stuff.
And I remember I basically after the class I was like, oh, I wanted to volunteer for because you were like, thank you. I was like, I wanted to volunteer for yours. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I agree. Screw Orson Welles. I wanted to volunteer to help yours, but I didn't think I had anything. And Devon was like, oh my God, I like wanted to for yours, but I was like, no, I have no idea. And then I was like, I think I said, we kept talking and it was going great. And I was like, would you want to write a sketch together? I don't know who asked, but I think it was me. And I remember the Starbucks we went to. I had already done a bunch of work like ahead of time because I was so nervous that I wouldn't have ideas in the moment. That I was like, okay, I have to show Devon that like she put her trust in the right person. And
so like truly the stakes could not be lower.
It mattered so much in my heart.
It did. No, it mattered to me too.
It did.
It is like meeting up with someone to write together. It can kind of feel like a first date in a weird way. Cause like, I don't know, you're trying to like match someone else's wavelength and like it's your palms are real sweaty the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah. Mom spaghetti, you know. This was the first show we did together. Sorry. I believe the first show we did together was Iron Maidens, but yes, it was. Yes.
Yeah.
And I got it for us. I asked because I was so in the know. I wanted to work at Second City at that time, and eventually did. But I was so like, I just basically got into a world where I was like, I have a place. Like my puzzle was in the wrong box before, and now my puzzle piece is like, oh my God, I was meant to be with all of these people that look like me and like our things fit together. So I wanted to learn everything about Second City and all the stuff, and I did. And so I knew that Iron Maidens was run by Alana, and she kept being like very positive of like, get out there, like do shows. So I was like, I asked her, and she was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. And she gave us a date, and it was like a month or just over a month out. And Devon was like, that's not enough time. We rehearsed, I think, maybe 3 times a week, if not more, for at least 3 weeks.
For what was probably a 12-minute
yes
set. It was like 3 scenes. But I remember like it felt like such a big deal.
Yes.
And it was just like, it was a Tuesday night show at the, I guess what is now the old John Candy Box in the basement. Yeah. But yeah, I wanted to rehearse so much. Like we could really do anything. That stage is like 4 feet wide. There's no room to, you can't, like, you're not staging Angels in America. But like, I was so militant about rehearsing that first show. And I retroactively apologize.
I retroactively don't accept it because to me, I'm like, you're right. Like, well, no, because I needed that. I was so nervous too, because for some reason, there's a thing about memorization. You know this, and I don't know why, where I have a mental block in the way of like, I can memorize, but I self-sabotage thinking that I can't. And I don't know if it's just from like the normal therapy reasons or what, but it's so whenever I have to memorize, I'm like, damn it. But I think that really helped solidify, and then also helped me not like really fudge up. I don't know if we can swear. Fudge up in front of you and then be like ruining my chance to like have a great writing partner, because we did have those same reference points, and it was so, but like enough different that I was like, ooh, cool, like this person fills like a bunch of blanks. Oh, okay. I can say fuck. Okay.
I think that show, that Iron Maidens, was also the first show that Flo and Joan ever did.
Yes.
Whatever happened to them. I don't know if they're still.
Do you ever hear about them anymore? Because I don't. No, they did their clothesline. Like, so this show.
Yes, they didn't do musical yet.
No, they had like one.
Which is crazy. Yeah.
Musical thing, but they did like sketches.
Yeah.
And we were like, And then when they did a musical thing, not that their sketches were bad, but we just were
Well, their
like,
sketches were much better than ours. Let's be clear about that.
excuse me, I still have pride in, I'm trying to remember one of those first like 3 sketches.
This is something actually that we have noted about us, is that you are more capable of looking at our old material and being like, no, it was good. Whereas
I can
like
understand the
I hate what I wrote like yesterday. So
this is true.
Like I look back on stuff we did, like even our Sketchfest set right before everything shut down, and I'm like, oh my god, like we were so young, we knew nothing about comedy back then.
And it's nuts to me because I'm like, our March set of last year, it was great. It's still great. I still remember some of the sketches and they still hold up. And I also know like I can point out like, yeah, we've outgrown this. It's garbage. And I'll also be someone where I'll be like, hey, this idea is still really good. What if we just rewrite it? Like we know who the characters are. We'd write better jokes now. So why don't we just do that? And you're like, no,
it dies. No. It burns in a fire.
You remember must have happened that you like for you to be like, I can't look back. Who's that thing? Sisyphus or not Sisyphus? Who's
Lot's wife?
Lot's wife. Yeah. Lot's
wife, who is my Snatch Game pick for RuPaul's Drag Race. If I ever did it, I would be Lot's wife. How would you
play that?
So it's like this.
And next up we have Lot's wife.
And that's it. Because her whole thing is she looks back on the town or something. I don't know. I didn't go to church. What was I going to say? It was about our old... do you remember being so picky about... We had these... For our first show, we had these blazers. And we were like, okay, this sketch, like, we would probably wear the blazers for. And then I think this next one... Like, I think we were very badly trying to look like... trying to look like Weekend Update.
Yes, anchors. Because we were obsessed with Tina and Amy.
It's just so like that makes me cringe now when I think about it.
Same, you sharing that, I was like, oh. Like I have a vest that I don't want to get rid of just for comedy purposes, but it is like this huge thick red vest because we had this sketch where we were hockey moms. Oh my god.
Yes. Oh wow.
Yes. And so that one was like you had to have. I had to have a flannel and there's like red.
I mean, that makes more sense. The blazers were like, there was no scene that needed a blazer. We were just like, oh, comedians wear blazers because we love 30 Rock. Oh my God. Yep.
I don't even remember that sketch. Like what any of the lines were.
No.
Would be painful.
It was 100 years ago.
To read it like our first or second or third sketch. That would be so painful.
I leave. I wouldn't. We'd never work again.
But it sucks too because a thing about like the past ideas is Devon and I have 2 features and like I still think they're great, but that we're working on. But I mean, we haven't touched it in a while. But the one idea I still love so much, and it's still really good. And I just keep being like, let's write it. Let's write it. And I don't think I've lost you yet.
No, because it's not done.
A little bit.
But like even for a show that was like, perform your worst sketches from the past, I still wouldn't pick the ones from our first show because they're too embarrassing.
But to me, I'm like, that's just a smart comedian. You truly will bore the audience. They will... Or like you'll lose them. They'll turn off. So to me, I'm like, that's just a smart, like
it's crazy because when you're in it, like I remember thinking, oh my god, like we're gonna perform these 3 sketches and people are gonna be like, did you hear about this new duo? Like they've really cracked sketch comedy. Like I don't know, you really when you're new, you really do feel like the first person to figure out how to do comedy.
Yeah. Well,
and it's not true. That might be just me. I was definitely encouraged way too much as a child, so I go forth with way too much confidence.
I was encouraged, but like,
reasonably.
Yes, like, but not like not excessively at all, and whatever. I don't want to. I'm like, my family's great. I don't want to be like, no, actually, they didn't give me as much encouragement as I would have liked. No, they did. They did. I'm trying to think. I had a thing and I lost it in my head about our first.
I remember we
sketch.
booked.
Yeah,
we booked that show, and you got us 2 other shows that month.
Mm-hmm.
And like we had 3 shows lined up.
120 Diner.
Yeah, and a SoCap show, I think.
And a SoCap show. It was Exit Pursued by a Bear. It was Brie Watson and
Jillian English.
Jillian English. Yeah.
Yeah. But like we got those 3 shows, and again, being new, I didn't understand you know, I had no perspective on like what not a thing that was, but I remember calling my mom and being like, Mom, oh my God, if you don't hear from me this month, it's because I have 3 shows. I have 3 shows, and then in the next 5 weeks, I'm going to be very, very busy.
I mean, with my rehearsal schedule, there's no way I can actually achieve, you know, quality work. It was our show. Oh, Exit Pursued by a Bear. Oh, and then I remember our 4th show was Sketch Comageddon. And we did that.
Yeah, to get into Sketchfest. Yeah.
And then we did the next, no. This was, to get into Sketchfest. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
And then we made it to the next round. And that literally, we know for a fact that is how we got into Toronto Sketchfest. It was not from our video of the first 3 shows.
Oh my God.
It was, I think, because we wrote new sketches for Sketch Come Again, because we were like, well, they've already seen them in the video, because we're smart. So we're like, we'll do other ones. And it actually did like work out, which was so nice. So
I think we should roll into the next question, because we've definitely talked about our 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th show now.
What do you like most about performing together?
Oh.
No, you go. I want to hear.
I mean, I like it's wild because we haven't like been on stage together now for what feels like forever. But I think like it's actually, I think, pretty rare for people who form a duo that early in their comedy career to still be a duo later on. Like I think a lot of people, they have a bunch of troupes and a bunch of duos when they first start out, and then those fall apart, and then you eventually kind of find like the person you click with later on. I don't know of a ton of duos who met as early as we did, and like we have worked together throughout every wave of our comedy careers. Like we performed together when we were really bad, and then when we were like a bit better, and then we performed together when we were okay, and then we got good, right? So like,
yes,
it's just like there's nobody that I feel as like comfortable with.
There's
no one like I never worry during a show with you. Like it's such a hard thing to explain. Like I feel like I'm doing a bad job of complimenting you because this is the part where I'm supposed to say nice stuff about you, but it's like I just feel so lucky to get to perform with someone who like absolutely knows my rhythms and I know yours, and like there's nothing that I feel like I can't try on stage with you. Like, yeah, I guess that's what I like the most about performing with you is it's this is gonna sound terrible, and I don't mean it to, but it's kind of like performing with yourself or like with no one. Like you just don't even have to worry about that other person at all. Does that make sense?
It's because it's by rote. It's basically like you don't have to think about, hey, if I do this, will they have my back? If I do this, will they follow me? If I do that, yada yada yada. Yes, no, I totally understand. And well, even I know this is not really about this, but I will circle back. Basically, we met in March of 2014, writing 3. Our whole writing group had a hangout on May 24 weekend. And we were let's live together. Yeah, it'd be so fun. We were drunk on Disaronno and watching Pitch Perfect. And
God.
nothing more annoying than early Second City students. It's the earnestness. I love it. I support it. If you are one of those people, keep doing that, because I'm trying to not care what people think, but it's hard. And I think when you're ignorant, you don't know like what you know, then you're just more free and have more fun. Anyway, that's a tangent.
Yeah, what's your favorite part of performing with me?
Basically, no, I wanted to say, I know, but I wanted to say, so the May 4 weekend, we were like, let's move in together with our other roommate. We did for September of that year. And so we were friends, but basically when we moved in together, it was like, you're becoming roommates, comedy partners, because the timing really matched up, and best friends at the same time, which is, to me, I think that we didn't have to change our dynamic. And I think that's what I love in a weird way performing with you, is it's for the same reason of like, we can throw in new dynamics, because I think when you juggle three, and you're my boss, for one of our like Joe jobs. And so I think when you do that, it's like, it's kind of, I like problem solving. I like problem solving. I always love being like, oh, what if you did this? Or just like figuring out a puzzle. And on stage, yes, it's just like the trust exercises where you can just, I don't know, do whatever. But also I'm always like, I think you're so good. And I remember in the writing program when they were like, hey, is everyone happy with how many sketches they have in the show so far? And I was like, to be honest, no, but like, I just have to work harder. And at no point was I trying to, sorry, my short-term memory is so crappy. That's my access need. You know this right now. So I keep forgetting what we're talking about.
It's your favorite thing performing with me. What about me is great.
You want to hear specific compliments too, but I kind of just don't want to.
No, because
just for fun.
I do want to circle back to like, I think when we started out, and I think maybe still, we get a lot of like, oh, you two are the same. Like, it's funny because it's two of the same person. And like,
yeah,
I don't.
And we're so not.
Like, I think as human beings and also as performers, we're really, really different. And like, something that I really like about
opposites, some would say.
Something I really like about performing with you in sketch and improv is like, I know I'm not an amazing physical comedian. I'm not someone who can like land a joke with like I can't like hit a joke with just a facial expression. Like, I'm a very verbal performer, and you are the type of, you have this like great expressive face. You can do like a smirk or an eye roll and it gets a laugh. And like, it's so nice to have someone who like I think if there were two of me in a duo, it would be exhausting and everyone would hate it. Like,
yeah.
So it's nice to perform with someone who like, I think we fill in each other's deficits when we're doing shows.
And I also think we're really good at realizing like, hey, oh, it's been a couple of shows of like, this person is doing more of the setup, or we have scenes that are just taking place with like, you and I will hit a thing where we do plateau in improv because we're just like doing a bit and forth. But I do think we're good at clocking. Sorry, I can hear myself now. Why? I'm so sorry. I can hear myself through your audio, and I don't know why. Part of me is like, should I shut the window? Anyway, I like performing with you because you are very, very funny. You're very, like, I always said you are very good at tweets because your brain works in like really good, short, punchy jabs. And you are like, you're very good at the boring improv stuff, like setting up or yeah. And then you're also very good at the like fun, heightened reaction stuff. And I also like realize it's because I try so hard to help other people, and like I do not want to ruffle feathers. I'm trying to play it nice so that I am always like suppressing. So on stage, I think sometimes I'm like, no, I play it here, but you will go like, get over here, give you granny a kiss. I don't know, like you wouldn't do that, but but
no,
like
that's one of my three.
That's your one character
that I have. So yeah,
but I did
would
like
absolutely do it.
like a lick kiss, and I was like, no. I like performing with you also because you're my best friend. So honestly, we have not the exact same reference points, which I think is key, because again, when it's the same thing, it's actually not as enjoyable when it's just the same dynamic. I mean, you can have a Frasier and a Niles, but you after a while you do want some variety. Yes, I'm on my Frasier kick, whatever. And you, I'm like trying to remember performing with you. Oh my God, in sketch, I also love, because we are so good at now going, we know where we're going to maybe improvise. And even if we haven't talked about it, we both are so confident in the script enough to know, like, great, we can just hem it up, do whatever, have like yep, and then we're back into it, and not even showing it.
It's so funny that you say that, because I was just thinking about how, like, I think part of what's really fun about performing together is we like exactly the same level of spontaneity with sketch.
Yes.
Like we rehearse everything, but neither of us are a total rogue, and neither of us are like, it has to be word perfect every time. Like we have a like same understanding of like, these are kind of the jokes where we'll maybe change it every night, or like this beat might be a little more improv-y than another one. I'm really glad that I don't work with someone who's like, I skimmed it like that. No, that's a no for me.
Both the same, like you said, that same level of finickiness, which I think because above all else, and I always trust this with you, you want comedy. So, and I will say in improv, that's not, many people do improv for many different reasons, and maybe comedy isn't the height of or their goal, but it's like we always filter everything through the lens of like funny.
What is it funny? In the words of Trinity the Tuck, where are the jokes?
The jokes. Where are the jokes?
Where are the jokes?
Seriously, Devon's been on, she just rewatched that All Stars.
Yeah.
Where are the jokes? And I don't know. I love working with you also when we have guest directors, because I'm like, you and I are always on the same page. I know if like we got a note on like, oh, change this author to a different author, and we were like, okay, and we didn't, not as like a screw you to the director, but just because it was like, I was like, we know, whatever way you are, we know it'll land, and it did, and it does, and it's just, I know I got your back. Oh my God, that's so corny. Can you say the question out loud?
Hard. What's your favorite memory of performing together?
Okay. I can read it. They wanted us to say the questions out loud.
Little peek behind the curtain. Favorite memory? I don't know, just like a jump to your brain right away.
A bunch jumped to my brain, like doing Anne Getty's Babies at Sketch Train. I just don't want to say the wrong thing. I think it's Sketch Train.
I always think really, really fondly of our Seattle Sketchfest show, because that was a festival where like we got to headline for the first time, which if you haven't headlined a festival, you simply must. It's so fun.
It is.
And like it was in this great theater. Like the lineup the whole night was really, really hot. Everyone before us was great. It was standing room only, and it was a set that we'd rehearsed it a lot. Yes. I think it was our most.
We cut a runner. Could you imagine if we had that runner in time-wise?
I actually don't remember what you're talking about, but like
it's New York. It was that runner.
Oh yes. R.I.P.
We never performed it.
Never. But yeah, we worked with Kirsten Rasmussen on it a ton, and it was just a really like I think well staged show because we're both people who would happily just like sit in a chair and say jokes. So
and I know you and I know comedically it is better for movement to happen, for it like callbacks and connections and things like that, like the audience response to that. So I like it because you and I both know our skill set, and we're like, great, that's just not us. And I was so happy we had a director for that show because Seattle, Detroit, like every year, but especially I think the first year.
All the Detroit festivals blur together for me because, full disclosure, I do get truly, truly blackout drunk the last night of that festival every year. So it's all just kind of sick. Yes, and then I get a head cold.
That was what happened. Or District.
Oh, in DC,
we've had really good improv sets there, and the first year, whatever, I'll say this is the first year we did District was in 2016. It was the 1 year in like, oh my God, I forgot. We performed on November 10th, which is the 1 year anniversary of my dad passing. And like, I was very excited to be I kind of created my own routine of like honoring him. And I've been able to do it every year. And I'm so happy. But it was the 2 days after the election in 2016. So you and I flew the day after the election. Like people just learned, and you and I are flying into DC.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite memories of performing together because it's not because it was good, but because it was just so crazy. The election, not to like talk about this, was on November 8th. We flew to DC on November 9th. People are literally weeping in the streets. Like I was taking the train in from the airport and people were just openly crying. It was crazy. And then on the 10th, we had our show. And I think like it's mostly Americans performing in that festival. We were one of, I think, 2 Canadian groups. And the host of our show, who like everyone in DC was great. It's such a good festival. When it comes back, go do it. But the host, I remember, came out and like just the energy in the room was weird because it was weird in the whole nation. And the host came out and was like, so I know this is not where we wanted to be today. It's just been a really hard 48 hours. I barely got out of bed this morning. Please welcome to the stage, Tucson.
Well, please welcome to stage some Canadians, so maybe you can marry them.
Yeah.
And we're like, cool, uncomfortable in our own skin, and now we have to walk out to that. We're like, yes. But I still wouldn't change anything. It was perfect. And Ganza.
Yeah, it's such a good story now. And like I just remember standing in the wings, listening to that intro, looking at each other, being like, what is she doing?
I remember the last time we performed at the festival, you and I went backstage and we looked at each other, and because we had a fucking hot one. It was really nice. I am bummed because they changed when the festival is, because the first time we went November, so it was like forget her name from Homeland, but like you said, I had very like her vibes.
Yeah, you looked like Claire Danes in Homeland the whole weekend.
And then they moved it up.
You had like long blonde hair and
yeah. And then the September is like, well, it's not fall, so it's not like
no, it's less like Homeland. No.
And then also, I remember we got catcalled so much because we didn't have coats or like other kinds of coats to cover
We didn't
us
have
up.
any modesty cloaks.
I would love a modesty cloak.
I will say, like, we've been really lucky in that we've gotten to travel quite a lot and perform in like
and teach.
This sounds so corny, but I really never would have imagined getting to perform in like as many cities as we've gotten to. It's been so fun. And like I think we've been really lucky in that I don't know that we've ever traveled and bombed. Like when we bomb at home. No, what are you remembering?
We did not bomb. We were good. We were. This was on the 2nd year anniversary of my dad passing to the day.
Oh, is this in Montreal?
We got asked to do Montreal because the duo last minute had to bail. So we were like, oh, you want us to be headliners and you're going to pay for everything? Sure, why not? And then Devon didn't realize she had the hugest work assignment of her life. And so you were just
was the show bad though? I just don't even.
So the
I don't
show
remember performing.
Didn't have a crazy big audience, but there was like a group of non-English speaking. It was like UN people.
Yes. Oh man, we did a show. It was improv, right? It was
yes
because it was improv.
We did 2 nights, yeah.
And yeah, on one of the nights we were like, what is going on? Like we were really giving it, and like I think our show was at least okay. And then someone at the theater told us, oh yeah, the audience was mostly visiting UN delegates who don't really speak English.
Don't speak English. And
so we were just
Devon and I are nothing if not verbal. Like so that to me made us be like, we hate it. Not the festival, not Montreal, but just like it was a hard trip and then Devon, because of this work thing, couldn't teach the workshop and then was feeling so bad. I remember I was reading A Wrinkle in Time on that trip and then on my iPad and you were like
and I was experiencing a real wrinkle in time.
Yeah. The question is where do you see each other in 5 years? And that we both, I think, had a reaction of we did not like that.
That is such an anxiety-inducing question. I can't believe it.
It is.
Oh man. Yeah. Like where do I see you in 5 years?
Oh my god. Okay, where? I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna live for 5 more years. The Twomey genes are so terrible. So I'm like, I could die.
I also think like if we've learned anything in the last little while, it's that like, I just don't think about the future anymore. Otherwise, like I have a full meltdown. I mean, man, you know what? Honestly, like where I hope we will both be in 5 years and where I think we will both be, I would be genuinely happy to be doing what we were doing right before this happened. Like we were in a great place and we were getting to travel.
A bunch of Second City stuff.
You just done Dead Parent Society, which was like such a killer.
Fest. It was great.
Actually, you know what I want? And this is a challenge to you and the cast of Dead Parent Society. In 5 years, mothers. I want...
I'm joking. I don't know.
Why are you like this?
I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, like, that show was so good.
Oh,
and like,
thank you.
It was so well written. You were all great in it. It was so nice to see it be that good because I'd heard you talk about it for so long. And so going to see that show, I was like, I hope this is really good. And it was like just such a banger of a show. I would love to see like Dead Parent Society like on HBO or on like on Hulu, on some streaming service. It's such a good premise for a show and everyone in it was so amazing. Like,
thank you.
I see that for you. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that in 5 years you see success without you, basically.
Well, because the question was where do you see the other person? So
I know.
So I don't think your success is necessarily tied to me, I think you'd be fine.
Yeah, me too. No, I'm kidding. 5 years.
Oh, and your
5
hair
years.
will be back. In 5 years, your hair will be back.
I loved it short. I really did. I hate the awkward phases because I can't go to, I know this is the dumbest thing to complain about, but I can't go to the hairdresser to get it at least shaped or styled as it's growing out. So this is just the last time it got touched, it got shaved to a 1 and then maybe even a little more on the sides. So this is just my hair growing out from that. Some days it looks nice and some days it doesn't. I had a huge swoop. So I was like, I'm just going to straighten it, and then I keep going, do the rest of my hair. I'm looking into the mirror meanwhile. And then I leave the bathroom and I walk into the living room and Devon's like, and I was like, oh no, does it not look good? And she was like, you look like basically like emo. I just look like a poster boy for emo in 2005.
Yeah, you did.
And I don't like that for me. 5 years. What year? 2021. So 2,
So when I'm
3, 4, 5, 6. I knew that. Why did I count
21, when I'm 21 years old, where do you see me? Because I'm only 16 now. So
you are 16, going on 31.
oh, scathing.
5 years. So that's 2026, which freaks me out. Okay, I can't think in years. I'm just gonna think like, where do I see you soon-ish in an undetermined place? I see you. Oh, I don't know if I see you here, but I mean I do, but I'm just gonna say it. Staff writing position, and like you were able to like get our feature looked at by some eyes of people or whatever.
That's what, yeah. Like,
yes.
Not. I love that because it's not like, oh, you'll be
or
this,
main
like,
stage.
huge big deal. It's you'll be able to get someone to at least look at our feature in 5 years.
But you have a staff writing job.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's great.
And like you're getting me a job soon. I don't know. Or main stage. And I'm not kidding about that. But I'm also like, the reason 5 years is weird because I'm just like, that's so. When will Sick and Save you right? Like time is.
Well, I mean, to think about it, 5 years ago. 5 years ago, we would have been just finishing that like Seattle, Vancouver, or no, we'd be like about to do our Seattle, Vancouver thing.
Yes,
right.
We would have been prepping.
We would have been what?
Like prepping, which is again nuts because that's like a September show. In the past, we like spent months, and then for like every time after for Sketchfests and stuff like that, we're not that early.
No, which I think is better.
Yes,
I think it's just a sign of confidence that we're not rehearsing for 9 months for a 20-minute set.
And I also see you with a boyfriend, but only if you want.
And with that, you've completed the 5 long-form questions, folks.
Oh my God.
I love it.
God.
And
I can talk to you very easily.
And now we're moving on to the
talk.
Yeah, it's the god of friendship here, the friendship P. Hey, how's it going? How's everybody doing? Now we're going to move on to the lightning round. Very exciting. So for this round, we're just going to ask you to read out the question and then point to whoever you think most qualifies based on the question. I'm going to play some fast jazz music. It's going to be so much fun. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
There's your respect.
Yeah, there it is. I love it.
Who's most likely to forget their wallet? Me. Yeah.
It's you. Absolutely you.
Yes, I forget
It's you.
I always have to come back for.
It's because you always leave the house with a full backpack of stuff. Even if you're going to just like buy cereal, it's like you're packing for a weekend. It's fucking crazy.
Who's most likely to be late? What's happening? It's my ADHD and my whatever. Yes,
I think we experience time differently. I'm like, if we're leaving at 7, show up first.
Who's most likely to show up first? But for a show, we'd be like okay, for hanging out with friends, sure, I'm not showing up first, like to the park
I'd say
or whatever.
overall, I'm more likely to show up first, but for a show, we're usually arriving together.
Yes. And I am more often the one that's like, can we have more time? Can we go there earlier? Who's most likely to do reality TV? Yes, this bitch. Yeah. I submitted for Bachelor, and I was like, I don't care. Yeah. Give me that money. I can be like, Paul. I
know I would get a villain edit. I know, because sarcasm does not work well on reality TV. I would just get eviscerated. It'd be so bad.
Who is most likely to get into a fight?
Like a physical fight?
I mean...
Oh, that's also you. Remember in Vancouver, you like pushed that girl?
I don't drink, I don't really drink anymore. Not because of that, but
you get Irish when you drink and you push
Well, I am Irish. But this girl, I was standing and she I think she thought I was pushing her with my elbow. She hit it.
This is the lightning round. It's the lightning round.
She shoved me, and then I turned around and I two-hand pushed her, and I said, "Excuse me." That's the only time in my life I've done that. Okay. Who's most likely to go skydiving? Neither.
I don't think either of us. But Devon, I think if someone had to, it would be me.
Oh, I was gonna say me.
Really, if someone came to our door and was like, "You'll both die unless one of you skydives tomorrow," I think it would be me. I feel like your bones would just shatter in the air.
I don't think it'd be great for my migraines or my MS.
This is what I'm saying. Your equilibrium would be completely fucked up.
Truly,
skydive.
So for my hypermobility stuff, no. Anyway,
so I would take the hit.
Fine. Who's most likely to forget their lines?
You.
What?
You.
But for a Tucson sketch?
I'm just saying, in general, who's more likely? I have a mind like a steel trap. I'm sorry.
I used to have a mind like a steel trap. So are you shaming me? Okay. Who is most likely to break some world record? I'm gonna say me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you. These are all you. You're just the most likely. You're the most likely person.
Most likely for who's the best liar?
I'm a better liar.
No.
I'm a better liar.
Devon, you're not.
I'm absolutely a better liar. You know why? Because my mom is a school principal. She was so hard to lie to when I was a teenager, so I got really, really good at it. I'm a good liar.
I am a good liar because I give away so much information. Not great, but that if I can withhold something and still. Which one of you is lying about lying? I can't lie as well anymore though because my brain is just not letting me. Who is the? Wait, what was the question?
Yeah, that was we answered it.
Oh, okay.
We answered it. Who's the better liar?
Okay,
and it's me.
I don't like performing.
We did it.
Were you convinced? No, I'm just kidding. Of course I love performing.
This whole hour was a lie. Nothing is
a lie, I tell you.
That's the show.
Yes. Oh, there's a thing that we could say. Please donate at baddogtheater.com /between-friends. If that didn't make sense, just check out baddogtheater.com and it'll be there. My social media handles are annoying because someone has my name on some of them. So it's like at Jackie.m.Twomey is my Instagram and at Twomey is my Twitter. I don't know, man. Devon?
We have an account for a duo
for Tucson.
At Tucson Comedy on Instagram and Twitter. I am on and off social media all the time. Half the time I think it is a toxic waste of a place, and other times I'm like, look at all these nice living rooms. But when I'm on social media, it's at Devon Henderson everywhere. On Nexopia, on MySpace. Do you remember Nexopia? I feel like it was just a weird PC thing.
On where you made Neopets.
Yes. Yeah, please follow at Tucson Comedy on Neopets. All of our animals are dead. Thank you for watching. If you watched.
Excuse me.
Kate Scorsese. Better
Okay.
poker face.
But
Boom.
when I don't want to give away
Thank
something,
you so much for
I
watching the
can't.
show.
I hate
was
this is
so
baloney.
fun.
Okay.
Thank you. Please donate to Bad Dog
Next.
Theater.